This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Erik Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Story to Screen. I'm Prana Songbird, and today with me, I have Daniel Ortiz, who is a up-and-coming filmmaker. His films have already won awards in film festivals, and we're going to get a sneak peek of that tonight. But for now, let me introduce you to Daniel. Daniel, say hey to everybody.
How's it going, guys? Nice to meet y'all. Or y'all see me.
Yes. They can see you very well. And that gorgeous smile of yours. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So Daniel entered a film into the Bonita Film Festival, Bonita, Florida. Yes?
Yes. Bonita Springs.
Yes. Was this your first film festival?
This is actually my first film that I've made as well.
Wow. And tell us a little bit about it.
So Dine and Dash is basically a romantic comedy, rom-com, about a guy who just happens to appear in a diner. He wants to get something to eat, but he ends up forgetting that he has his wallet. So as soon as the waitress comes over and asks, hey, you seem like you're freaking out. I'm assuming you probably don't have money. Dine and dashing is a crime. And so my character, Brian, he's going to basically weasel his way out and try to, see if he can finesse a bit, get a free meal out of it. And it kind of escalates.
You're getting your flirt on, basically.
Yes, pretty much. I had to give her the little wink,
Yeah.
Hit her with the charm.
Patting your eyes, flashing the smile.
The schmolder.
Yes. The schmolder. Okay.
But yeah, so that basically after that it kind of goes downhill for a bit. A lot of things kind of escalate because surprisingly the waitress has a crush on this guy. So things get a little wild, but you guys will see it.
Yeah. All right. We actually have a clip of Dine and Dash that we're going to share with you right now. So give us a second, and we're going to show you Dine and Dash by, is it by you? You wrote this, yes?
Not written by me. It is actually written by Doug Richards. He's a good friend of mine. But I did direct, I did edit.
Okay.
And I acted.
So directed, starred, and editor. Wow. Okay, guys. Here's a little bit of Dine and Dash.
Finish line.
Hi.
Guessing you want something to eat, but you look like a prime candidate for Dine and Dash.
Yeah, I forgot my wallet. Is there any possibility I could just get a burger and maybe come back later to pay?
Well, I haven't seen you here before.
Yeah, I just moved here. I'm here with my parents and I'm trying to actually find my own place.
So that was your sneak peek at Dine and Dash. It does look like it's going to be right up the rom-com alley. Well done.
Thank you.
And did you win an award for this one at the
Yes.
Festival?
Yes, it was actually the first award they announced. It's the Merit Award.
Oh,
And like I said, this was my very first time actually winning an award, so I'm considered a award-winning filmmaker now, which is
you
very
are.
exciting.
Yes.
It's been a big dream.
Congratulations.
A big
I
dream
mean,
of mine, so
well, and it's already happened. So now what? What's the next dream?
the next dream, continue to hopefully win more awards.
Yeah.
No, but really I want to be able to keep kind of just what I've always told myself through the years is no matter what, always leave a legacy behind because time moves fast, very fast when we don't think about it.
Yeah.
Each day we're kind of either sitting around or we're doing our normal 9 to 5 jobs that we forget that each time is very precious and it's important. So, for me, like I'm still young and I want to be able to hopefully show my future kids, my future generation, the next generation of any kids to kind of see how I've grown, how I've learned, and how I can tell a story and give back to people.
Yeah. So this being your first story, the first film that you've done, why this story?
Surprisingly, it was okay. So it was a very interesting story. Um, I was at a filmmaking crew group that was on Facebook. Shout out to UFTA. That is where I met these guys. We have monthly meetings every second Monday of each month, and I decided to go there. I mean, I can't remember if this was probably my first time or the second time I went there, but I bumped into this guy who comes up to me and he goes, listen, I heard you introduce yourself. I heard that you want to be a filmmaker and you want to get so much experience doing everything. I actually have a script in mind, and it's actually based on a couple or two young people. And when I saw you and your girlfriend, which my girlfriend came with me, she's also an actress as well.
Okay.
I pictured you two as the main characters. And so, I wasn't totally sure if I wanted to do the acting side. I really wasn't sure because I didn't mind learning everything. I wanted to learn the whole aspects of the whole film industry, so understand all positions.
Mhm.
And so, I told him I was like, yeah, I would love to do this. Did you have in mind of are you wanting to direct it? Did you want to edit it? Anything? He goes, oh no. I just have this script. I would love for you to do it all. And I kind of sat there and went, oh, okay, sure. I mean, I did come in kind of like strong about how I, presented myself. I did say that I wanted to create my first film by myself. I wanted to see where my level is, at least as skills and craft. Because like I said, I've made a lot of different types of videos. I have a business side, so I do a lot of commercials for other businesses.
Oh, okay.
And I have a YouTube channel that I also do my own little personal content. So that comes through experience. But I love to research a lot on how people tell their stories, especially when you add like certain details to shots. So like I felt like this first short film was gonna be a good start for me because I at least get to see how far I've grown, where I can do to make my first film, and then I wasn't expecting that I was gonna win anything, but as soon as I heard them say my name, I was like, "Oh my gosh, wow!"
Yay! Yay!
So yeah, the man that reached out to me was Doug Richards. He is an amazing guy, really nice. I think that was his first script he written as well, as far as I know, or at least his first script that he filmed with. So I appreciate him a lot.
Oh, you guys
And
you entered
yeah,
the
no,
with a bang, man.
definitely. I was really surprised. I was shocked myself, but Yeah, so like I wasn't really expecting that this first film was actually going to get so much like and attention.
I mean, I obviously I had a lot of good hopes on the film was gonna be great, but to actually win my first award at the first film festival, I was like,
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie too. What made me even more nervous too, and very grateful was the fact that the man that runs the Bonita Film Festival, Antonio, I believe his name is,
Yes.
he personally told me himself that he said, "Dude, you set the bar up here.
Hmm.
Now you gotta go higher." I'm just sitting there like, oof, man. Alrighty then.
Get ready.
I'm gearing up. I'm getting ready. I've
Yeah.
been actually investing in a lot more cameras. I got my first cinema camera, so I'm
Oh,
really excited. Learning more
cool.
about lighting, a lot about audio, and I can hopefully work more on my script writing so I can tell a better cohesive story.
All right.
So
Now, do you think that you said you weren't really, going to UFTA as at looking for acting experience, but you took that on. Now that you
yes,
have, do you think you want to continue doing acting as well, or do you want to stay more behind the camera?
if it's not a project that I'm directing, that I don't mind acting.
Hmm.
But if
It's
I'm
good
doing a
to-
project, I would rather direct. Yeah,
Yes,
because like, and what's crazy is I don't know how Tyler Perry does it. Like that is some crazy talent you gotta have because it's hard like trying to focus on so many things. Well, I mean, I guess it makes more sense since he's got a bigger production. He's got assistant
that's
directors to help him out. So
that's what I was gonna say. He's on a whole different production
yeah,
level. And when you have that space and that time and all of those extra hands and eyes helping your project out, now you can kind of bounce back and forth, a little bit more freely. But, most people don't have that luxury and they've really got
yeah,
to map out very carefully what they're doing because, they'll be on a time crunch or,
hmm,
they don't have enough people where they can just really, like do the
oh
bounce
yeah,
back and forth, do the
and
bounce
it
and
it
forth.
was definitely a learning process for me because like I mentioned, like I really wanted to test myself and test where I can go. So I took on this challenge to want to do multiple things. Like I thought, I just wanted to see how it works out. So, yeah, acting is fun. As long as I'm not the one being behind the camera or have to worry about lighting, where my cameraman's gonna be positioned and everything, I'm good. Like I'll
Yeah.
act. But if I want to do a project that's mine personally, I'd rather just hire someone because I can easily tell them what I want to do. I can actually stand behind the camera, check my angles, and be like, I all right, this is what I want.
Yes.
So I want people to see that these types of films that I want to work on in the future, this says Daniel. This is his work.
Right.
This is how he sees the world and how he wants people to either be aware of or to embrace. So there's going to be a lot of mixed emotions that
Mm.
I'm hoping to get. Whether if it's good or bad, that's good to me because it gets people very on their feet about it, or like they're just
Right.
very excited to know like what's going through his mind.
Right.
Like, why would he think this?
Let's take a short break, Daniel, and we will be right back, everybody. Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org because each one matters. All right, welcome back, everybody. Prana Songbird here with my guest, Daniel Ortiz, award-winning filmmaker, director and editor. Wow. And working on screenwriting, actor,
Yes.
a man of many hats, as they say. That's really cool. So, you were saying before that you wanted to, leave a legacy behind, or what do you want them to feel? And you know what I mean? Like, what is that legacy going to be about?
Um, so for me, I'm a very big storytelling inspired type of person. I
Mm,
love when someone kind of gives me something where it makes me want to cry, whether it makes me want to laugh, learn love, hate a character. So it's something that I want to be able to really put into people's perspective and their feelings when they watch a certain film.
the
So
character, I like the character you love to hate, like that
yes,
guy that you work with. Like everybody, there's that one guy that everybody is annoyed by, and he's a complete, you know, and like
but
nobody likes this guy.
he just makes the film so good and just
But he
like
makes it so good.
gosh,
It's like, oh, this guy, and it's like you got
yes,
to laugh at that crazy that's out there in the world. It's really out there. I mean, some of the best stories are based on what people have to really deal with all the time. And in the moment when they're dealing with it, it's not funny. But I think sometimes when they see it reflected on television or in a movie, then now they can go, oh, that is kind of funny. When that happened to me, it
oh yeah.
wasn't funny then, but now that I see it happening to someone else, I'm not alone. I can laugh.
Exactly. And that's something I feel like that's very important for people to have these type of like relationship experiences with certain films.
Mm,
I want people to feel like they can be a part of something. They feel like they're within certain films themselves and they're experiencing it like it's their experience.
mhm,
So this is a bit of a it's a this is a be a bit of a tough thing for me to mention, but I'm a very open guy.
okay,
I've experienced a lot of hate in my past.
mm,
I've gone through deep, dark things in my life that has very much shifted how I am as a person. But the way I see the world, I see it very differently, I guess, which is kind of corny in a way, but I love seeing life through movies or through even like through TV shows, Like
mhm,
I grew up watching Boy Meets World, Drake and Josh, stuff like that. So
yeah,
what so seeing stories like that feel very relatable when you're growing up, it feels like you just feel at home in a way, It's your
mm.
comfort film, your comfort show, your comfort movie, whatever. So,
I
um,
think part of those are because because that's one of the ones I remember watching Boy Meets World, and thinking that, man, that kid is so nerdy. That kid is so, like, how's he ever going to get Topanga? She's obviously into him, but like, how, like, how long is that going to last? And
exactly.
because, like, I definitely had an ugly duckling phase in my life where I was just like, and I was odd. You know, I I also had a kind of tough time fitting in,
Hmm.
and I don't know, those stories like that and those shows like that. I fell hard into him because it was like, okay, that kid's weird too, and he's dorky, and everybody thinks they're odd, and and then they got this fox named Topanga. What, I don't know where they get that name from, but like, there's hope for me. I can make friends like that. I can have somebody look at me that way, and
Exactly.
it's like, it's not. Yeah, you found, you find a character you relate to, and hope that yeah, you're gonna get that happily ever after kind of feel too. I think that's why
Yeah.
we like those stories so much, is because, like, yeah, even the really oddballs out there, there's somebody out there for them. That means there's somebody out there for me, because I'm not as
Yeah.
odd as that guy, you know.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're not all different by ourselves. Like there's always people who are just like us,
Oh
whether
yeah.
we see it or not. So it's stuff like that feel makes you feel very comforting in a way.
Mhm.
And so like what I what I want to do for me, my personal goal in life is to leave different types of awareness. I want to be able to bring stories that some people aren't able to tell their stories, but I can kind of like mold it where it's my stories, but a part of their story in a way. So when
Mhm.
people see certain fears, certain cries, and or just learning about love, they feel like that was what they experienced. That's what they gone through, and so they are like, wow, I'm team this person, because I know they're strong, they're good, you know. It's even though it's obviously all fiction, it's not real, but to them it feels like, you got it, I believe in you, da da da.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping to basically like I want to save people's lives in a way. That's what
Yeah.
it feels. I want to show people that life's worth living, you know, because when I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm.
I graduated high school, but I never went to college. I wanted to do music at the time, but filmmaking was something that slowly molded into my love life because I
Yes.
started off as a videographer, photographer, and I was doing, business for a while, but there was a part of me was like, I'm tired of working for other people, creating what they want. I want to create something that I want, something
Yeah.
that means a lot to me in my heart. So that's when it started with the YouTube videos, and then slowly I started molding into learning how filmmaking works, and now I'm like, this is something like I really think I could do. I think this is something I can enjoy. I may not see obviously income or some kind of payment right away, but I have strong belief that, in the future, if I can make a name of myself of what I do, I would love to find a way to create some kind of fun through the community, like Patreon or something, just
Yeah.
something where if people really believed in me, they believed in the craft that I can do, they can see that all of their money that they're donating to me can go to a really important project that I want to do, so I can
Yeah.
give back to people, and even work with nonprofit people. I have a bunch of different friends that have their own nonprofits, some about, suicide awareness. My
Mm.
girlfriend's actually making a nonprofit herself that's about mental health awareness. So it's stuff like that I like to be around certain people that give me that type of good energy. And like I said,
Well,
working with nonprofits like that could really help bring an attention for a certain awareness, like I said. So yeah, that's something I want to do.
well, I'm so glad that we've been able to talk today because, we have our nonprofit called the Starfish Foundation, and we would love to partner with you. Where we're trying to get kids into the film industry to help tell stories as well. And sometimes maybe working on a project, telling somebody else's story may encourage them to be able to one day tell their own,
Definitely.
and I was a lot like you in the, I just high school wasn't my thing. It wasn't. And college really wasn't either. I tried it. I did. I graduated with a degree. I used that
Nice.
degree for all of no, it was a complete, waste of money and
Oh,
time.
what
You know,
what degree did you get, if you don't mind me asking?
oh, electronics engineering.
Oh,
I tried to go the practical route. I tried to do the 9 to 5. I tried to get that good paying, like factory job. And I did. I succeeded and I got just what I wanted. And I think I worked that factory job for about 9 months. I couldn't do it. And I think a lot of
um,
us that are creative, being put in a cubicle is like a prison sentence. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah,
mm-hmm.
I got to go home every day. But then I mean, I found myself sometimes like crying on the way to work. I'm like, this sucks. My paycheck is amazing, but I hate this job. I hate it, And so I left it because I realized it was like eating away at my soul. This wasn't for me. This isn't the kind of life. I mean, kudos to the people who work these jobs because I mean, they're necessary. Um, and I tried to do that because I was told very early on, do not get into film, do not get into acting, don't get into any of that. That is, you know, I'm sorry.
It's hard not to get away.
It's it's like it's filled. I was told by a very loving family member that look, that industry will just take advantage of somebody who looks like you. And I'm like, what do you mean somebody looks like me? Like, at the time, like I said, I was feeling like the ugly duckling, so I didn't see
But
anything.
if you think about it too, your 9 to 5s take advantage of us too.
They
They pay
do.
us, but they don't pay you enough for the work you put in.
They
So
don't.
if you're gonna
So
do something to take advantage of, you might as well do it something that you enjoy.
right. But I think he was more along the lines of what happens to young people sometimes in the film industry, those shady backroom
Mm,
experiences. If you do this, then you'll get to go here. If you wanted to advance your career, this is what you kind of got to do. Um and I mean, hey, maybe because we all know what's been going on in the world.
yeah.
It's always been happening, and more people are coming forward saying, "Hey, this did happen to me," um, and I want to speak out about what happened to me, and hope that it stops and it doesn't happen anymore to people in the future. And Starfish with Starfish, I want to create that safe environment for people to just be able to tell their stories.
And, I have to say, like, that's the scary part of social media and just the internet now these days. Because, yes, there's benefits to easily getting exposure in this. Because I know back in the day, wait, before internet was even popular, it was even able to come out, you had to actually go to cinemas to watch a movie.
Yes.
Like, you don't see a lot of indie filmmakers able to do, like, promote themselves. They can't show their work. They have to actually go out hand to hand to talk to people and tell them about it. But
Right.
now, like, it's a lot more accessible with the internet that we have. Like, there's so many filmmakers out there, which is crazy. So many
Mm-hmm.
that we don't even know about. There's a lot
Right.
of young filmmakers. Like it just blows my mind. So what's crazy is, like, everyone's getting opportunities now these days, and that's what I think I love, that you can be a small indie filmmaker and still make it big and work with bigger productions if you choose to do so. You don't have to try to go to college to get your degree in filmmaking just to get into, like, the big corporate stuff. Like, you can experience it by just doing it and
Yeah.
just showing it.
Show up.
Exactly.
Show
Show up and
up.
show out.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, Daniel, I could talk to you like all night, but then we wouldn't have our musician segment. So we're
Ooh.
gonna have to let you go. But before we do, do you want to let people know how they can get in touch with you if they want to work with you or they want to present a project to you?
Yeah. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My personal is the Daniel Ortiz, all one word together. The Daniel Ortiz. If you want to see my videography, photography, business side, it is Film by Daniel Ortiz. You'll see the logo right there. I got a website, and yeah, you can check me out there.
All
Show some
right.
support, show some love.
Yeah, most definitely, because he is a talented man and
Thank
deserving
you.
and very deserving of your support and love. So give it to him, okay? All right, Daniel, you've been great, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really grateful to be here.
Oh,
Thank you.
cool. All right, guys, I will catch you next time, but stay on for Erik Krefeld, who's coming up
This
next
radio
with
is
our
powered by
musician segment.
Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage.
All
Visit
right.
streamlion.com for more.
Hey everybody, Erik here, Story to Screen. I've got an amazing vocalist here with us tonight, SKYLAR. And SKYLAR, let's just kick this off, man. Like, let everybody know a little bit about you, where you came from, what gets you up every day to sing and put out this music that we're gonna get to listen to.
Um, See, I grew up in Chicago, um, on the South Side, rough neighborhood. My mom was a singer. Um, We used to sing together a lot. We still do sing together. As a matter of fact, if you listen to Back to Memphis on the Insecurities project, you'll hear her singing backgrounds on that. Let's see. Graduated, went to the military, got out, drove a truck for a while. Let's see. And then, fast forward, my husband decided, hey, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Between the truck driving and the getting into this, I did lose my son. My son was born sleeping, and so there was a lot of pain from that. And I was always writing. I would write things, letters and whatnots to him, but that's as far as it went. And fast forward with my husband, he's like, I think you can make a go at a singing thing. I was like, I'm 40 years old. Why would I? I'm happy singing in the shower. I'm happy singing to the plants outside. I'm fine. But one thing led to another. I was in a program called AMTC. Met my future manager, and it just took off from there.
Amazing. Well, first of all, thank you for your service. It's we appreciate what you guys go through when you do that stuff. I've never had to serve our country in that kind of way, but I definitely appreciate those that do. So thank you. And apologies for the man. I can't imagine. I'll just stop there and just say I can't even imagine, and I don't want to. So
Never, yeah.
yeah. So now I do. So I do want to go from there though to. I have always felt like the creative process is one that helps to heal sometimes, and so I'm wondering if being able to work through the writing process, maybe even the singing process, has that helped you in any way with what you had to work through?
The song "Drowning," and again, I'm going back to Insecurities, was actually my way of expressing how I felt about losing my son.
Sure.
So that was a big one. Back to Memphis was about, me being homeless for a minute.
Right.
And Insecurities was not completely autobiographical, but it was a lot more personal, a lot more of my personal life in it. So that was me almost purging everything out. Now, among the insanity, a lot of that's written from third person. So a lot of people are like, well, how did you come up with this? And I was like, I don't remember. I write, I tell, and I like to tell stories.
Right.
Okay, imagine this person. What are they doing? How are they feeling? And to me, that's kind of a cleansing process to where I can imagine somebody else's life.
Amen.
That makes sense. Yeah.
No, I did something similar one day. I sat in a I don't remember why exactly I was there, but I was in a whatever you call that office where you would go to get like food stamps or whatever like that. I sat in one of those offices one day, not in the actual office, but in the waiting area. And I just remember seeing this young couple with a small child there. And I just kept looking at them, wondering what it was like to be them. And I literally wrote a poem about being there because they hit me so hard, just watching them interact and watching them wait some more. That I did. I wrote. So I find that in talking with all of you guys that there's generally two different sides to what you're doing. You're either using the pain that you've experienced in your life, or the joy sometimes, the emotion, the things that you've gone through in your life. You're using those feelings to express somebody else's story, because you find this way to empathetically tap into their story and use your own feelings to be able to really tell that story vividly, or you're using it to help you work through your own story. So I find it interesting. You're kind of bouncing back and forth between both worlds. That's neat.
My brain works. I just bounce back and forth. I don't mean to do it.
Well, it's working for you, so hey. So before we get too far in, what I want to do is, you mentioned the Among the Insanity. Yes, you mentioned that one. So what I want to do, I want to take a quick break, jump out. We're going to let everybody listen to that song, and we can talk a little bit more about it. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Check out this next song from SKYLAR, Among the Insanity. All right, guys, back again. Just listening to an amazing song from SKYLAR, Among the Insanity. So you told us a little bit about where that song might have come from. Now, can you tell me a little bit about the actual creation process? I mean, did you have studio musicians? Do you have a band of your own? How does it work?
Oh gosh, it's funny. The song itself took a complete left turn from where it originally started in my head. There was a lot of stuff going on. When I was writing it, I was just coming out of COVID. That was a nightmare in itself. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff that was going on, and I had a conversation with my manager. She said, "You know what? Somewhere among this insanity is it?" I said, "That's it. That's it." But it took some weird turn. I couldn't tell you what I was watching, what I was reading, what was going on. But I decided to write a story about what would happen if this couple were going through problems, and they were having these issues, but they wanted to fix them. They wanted to solve this issue. They didn't want to leave. They wanted to work it out. And so it was like that insanity in itself is a completely different animal. And I had the lyrics. Terry Wilson, he came up with the music for it. And we'd sit back, and I think we came up with that vibe somewhere about, I think it was 2:00 in the morning. I was at his house in LA, and it's like I had just flown in, and I think at that point I'd been up for like 18, 19 hours, and we had just, I was like, "So what we got? Let's see this vibe right here." And it grew from there, and it was like, "Yeah, I'm digging it." And so he decided, okay, I got these musicians I want to bring in. And he brought in, on the drums, he brought in Brandon Temple, who has recently taught his own master class, like actual literal master class. And then there was Bennett Salve. He's dynamite on keys. Any type of piano, organ, whatever it was, he put it in there. Then there was Billy Watts. He did the background, and the background, the rhythm guitar on there was like, wow, okay. And then you had Terry on the bass, because he plays bass, and he put the bottom in there, and it just grew. It kind of tied the whole thing together. But then he brought in Alfie Holt, and that opening riff that you hear is him when he hits that guitar riff, and it just sets all of them together. It just sets that whole mood. And then I get
It's a
to
really powerful song.
yeah, I get to come in and add my little 2 cents in, a couple of seconds in, but they all come in and they set that mood for it.
Awesome. Yeah, it is a very powerful song. I like all the energy that's inside it. I feel like it supports the title. And it's funny. My mom used to always. I like to do things really late at night. My whole life, even as a child, I did. And my mom used to always tell me, what is it so important about 2 o'clock in the morning that you can't do in the daytime? And I'd be like, I don't know. There's just so much energy there, and I feel like yes, granted, sometimes there's really dark energy out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, but there's also really creative energy out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and maybe you tapped into some of that with this song because
Ask, are you born in July,
August
early August?
13th.
Okay, yeah, because that tends to be that we tend to operate on the moon. That
Oh, yeah.
moon energy, and that's where that 2 o'clock in the morning thing comes from. It's like it's just something about that.
Right, for years, I always woke up at either 2:30 or 3:03 every morning, and I was just filled with everything. I needed to write. I needed to dance. I needed to do something for this time period between usually like 2 and 4 a.m. Because I woke up with so much energy. Now wake me up again at 8 a.m. and I'm like, oh, do I really gotta wake up? But between 2 and 4, I'm like, I'm lit. Let's go. I don't know what. Just strange world, man. So speaking about moms, so you brought up that you and your mom have sung together sometimes. Is that a competitive relationship at all, or do you guys just support each other?
No, matter of fact, I have 2 younger sisters, and we've all sat together and done the whole harmonizing thing. We just it's something we enjoy.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
What we enjoy to do.
I love that because it can go either way again. With different family scenarios. Sometimes that's a difficult, contentious relationship that you gotta compete with each other on it. Other times it's you're there to support each other, and I love it when that one happens.
Oh yeah, it's never been a competition with any of my sisters, my mom. I grew up, believe it or not, in the Chicago Children's Choir, and we were classical. We were a classical choir. My sister had more of the gospel voice. I didn't develop my voice from classical until, gosh, I would say my late 30s.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice. So I mean, and in listening to your music, and here's I'll even give away my own naivete, I guess, in music genres. Genres to me are limiting. They're like labels on anything else. I don't like labels in general.
No.
And I feel like yes, I can hear the blues obviously in your music.
Mhm.
I also hear gospel, and I hear rock, and I hear all kinds of fun stuff in there. So if you had to give yourself a label, would you go unlabeled, or would you stick with yeah, I'm definitely a blues with a little bit of gospel and rock, or what do you call you?
It's a bluesy rock or rock blues.
Okay.
They kind of it's more of that whole rock blues thing.
Okay.
Where yeah, there's still some blues elements to it,
Sure.
but there's that whole rock sound, and there's a whole there's even within that subgenre, there's more subgenres popping up under that. Because now you have Southern rock blues, you have modern rock blues. And it's like, we're just going to have one genre per song at this point.
Amen.
But I just love how it's not being lumped together.
Sure.
They're actually recognizing that there are many subtle little levels, and there are many things that make this group of songs different from this group of songs, and it's okay. It's okay for them to be this way.
Right on. Okay. So Ride That Lightning. Ride That Lightning. That's another one of these songs that I was listening to earlier this afternoon and enjoying. That one again, just a pretty powerful song. We're gonna let everybody hear it, but I want to hear a little bit about it first. So can you ride me through, either what that song came from, where it was, what is that song all about for you?
That one, I don't want to say it's autobiographical, but it's one of those where I feel like I put a little me in there. And I am not a licensed, but a registered storm chaser.
Ooh.
So I like putting weather terms in. I just wanted to come up with something where it's like, what kind of feel can I do with this? I can't remember what it's called, where you just want to give that sense of being in a storm. And you want to give it that, and so that's where that rhythm guitar comes in and the bass comes in. It gives you that sense of being in a storm.
I would definitely agree with that. I can't wait for everybody to listen to it. So let's jump out. We'll let them hear it. Get some of that imminent storm on their own, and then we will pop right back in. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
The calm comes tomorrow, but I'm raging today. Time to ride that lightning as fast as I can. Shoot it from my heart in the palm of my hand. Knock you off your feet and blow your world apart. Let's ride that lightning, baby. Start a fire with a spark. Coming, you can smell it in the air. The barometer's dropping, storm flags are everywhere. You might get lucky, make it through the day, but with the odds that you got, you best get on your way. On your way, gonna ride that lightning as fast as I can. Shoot it from my heart and drop you in space. I'll knock you off your feet and blow your well high. Time to ride that lightning as fast as I can. Shoot it from my heart and the palm of my hand. I'll knock you off your feet and blow your well high.
Hey guys, so yeah, man, that was Ride That Lightning. Hope you guys felt some of that storm. I can't imagine that you weren't sitting in the middle of it with how that was put together. Um, so one of the things, you guys are all used to it. I do it every week. I throw this out there to our guests. And so SKYLAR, the whole reason we do this show is built on an organization called wearestarfish.org. That organization is built to help people that have experienced childhood trauma and suffered from childhood trauma and are in the process or have already, people that are working through that trauma. So we've focused on several different types of people. Some of them are addicts. Some of them are people that are recovering from, abuse. Some of them are fleeing from family abuse. They're just different kinds of scenarios that people are working through. One of them is young people that are aging out of the foster care system. And this one is especially special to us because I personally am adopted. My son is adopted. And while I don't remember anything about foster care, I know that it helped shape, some of the feelings that I have. And so part of what we do is look at, the things that you guys bring to the table. You have this music, and generally that music has been shaped by the things that you've kind of walked through. And that's part of what we talked about earlier, that, your own kind of growing up experience a little bit and how that helps shape what you do as an adult. So with Starfish, one of the things that we're doing, we're looking to purchase land and create an actual physical community. In the meantime, we're creating a virtual community with people like you that have this ability to use the creative arts to work through things that you've had to work through. So our hope is that at some point in time, I'm going to be able to call you up and say, hey, SKYLAR, I got Jimmy or Jenny or whoever here, and they're working through something, and they could really use a little bit of mentorship from someone like you that can help them understand how, maybe if they do wake up at 2:00 one morning and start sketching some stuff out or writing some stuff down, that it can help them work through things. So all that said, is that something that I can call you up one of these days and be like, SKYLAR, I got somebody you need to talk to?
Absolutely. As a survivor of childhood sexual trauma, I would love to talk to anybody who has struggled with that, is still coming to terms with it. It took years. It took decades to come to terms with that. And you mentioned adoption. My youngest sister is adopted, and we tell her we bought her at Walmart. And she, we were lucky. She's actually my second cousin, and we have had her in our family since she was 6 months.
Yeah.
And she's 22.
Awesome.
She's 22 now, I think. Yeah, 21, 22. So we're her sisters. There's no, what do I call you guys? Are you? No, we're sisters.
Right.
And ironically, one of the things, my mom has a mole on her finger. I have a mole. My sister has a mole. She has a mole on her finger.
Wow.
This was meant to be. And there is a concern about children who are aging out of foster care, because it's like, well, now what?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, these are the kids that are going to run the country for us, and these are the kids that they're getting ready to walk into an adult livelihood that, some of us got to have families and parents and families surrounding us, and there's a benefit to that I don't know if everybody wants to recognize it, but it's out there. There's a benefit to having a community around you as you grow up. A proper one, we'll say that, a proper community. And a lot of these kids, they don't have that. When they're aging out of foster care, they're growing up with the understanding that nobody cared enough about them to bring them into their family. And they're walking into this new adulthood with that anger, that resentment, that pain, that fear, that all of it. And so, like, you know, if we can start to wrap arms around those people and help them work through that stuff in a creative way instead of a destructive way, that's where I think, you know, we get to be world changers. And, you know, I think your music plays a part in that. Your music, it reaches inside and it grabs people and it tells stories that help people understand that, man, difficulty is difficult. Yes, we're not going to pretend it's not, but there is a way through it, and there are people that are willing to, you know, walk with you through it. I think it's an important message for all of them to hear. So,
Being a survivor of childhood
Yep.
sexual abuse,
Yeah.
there were so many questions that I just never asked, never said, you know, too much of anything. I never faced it.
Sure.
And it wasn't until yesterday I was in my 30s by the time I really started facing it. And again, went to my mom, and you know, we walked through it. We walked through the whole thing. And has it completely healed up? No. You know, that's a scar that will never completely heal. But has it stopped festering? Yes. So it's just that anybody that it's like, and it's not just childhood. I know silent deals with childhood, but I've also gotten involved with groups that they talk about infant loss, you know, stillbirth, infant loss, domestic abuse. You know, I've dealt with all of that.
Simply, unfortunately, sometimes the hardest things that happen in our lives are those moments where we need outside help. And those moments are where we literally have to say, okay, I quit. I give. I cannot do this on my own. Yep. Here's my wife. I cannot carry this any further. Someone please step in. And so, you know, my hope is that, you know, through meeting people like yourself and all the other amazing people that we've brought into our virtual community here, you know, these people are going to start to experience some of that light that they need to find to help them carry the weight they're carrying. So, on that note, before we get too far, help people find out how to find you, because we got one more song we still got to listen to. So how do they find you?
Best way to do it, best starting point is www.skylarrogers.com.
So yeah, let's jump out. We're gonna go listen to the third song that we have from you, Between Friends. I'm like, help me out. That was my favorite one. All right, so we're gonna go listen to Between Friends, and then we'll come back. We'll catch everybody on the flip side, and we'll hear a little bit about that song. So we'll catch you guys on.
In my heart of hearts, I still want you, but you'll never know. I ain't leaving no clues, and I know too much to let it all come undone. And here we are, what a tale we've spun. The stars are there to remind me of you. I know it's meant to be, but they make me feel blue. And when it all comes down, we can only pray to keep this between friends. You know it's better that way. It's better that way. Let's keep this between.
All right, guys, back
friends.
with our friend SKYLAR, and we were just listening to her song Between Friends. Now, this one out of the three, although those other ones were real powerful and fun, I don't want to say fun, they were just energetic. They you know, they moved me in an energetic kind of way. This one, I don't know. I told her when first talked to her, I said, man, this song is sexy. No doubt. So you guys, I hope you enjoy that song as well as, the other stuff that SKYLAR's got. And, feel free to hit her up. She's got an amazing collection of music, obviously an amazing collection of stories to tell. Tell us again one more time, SKYLAR, how they find you.
www.skylarrogers.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, SKYLAR, for joining us here today, for sharing your stories, sharing your music. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, don't forget, every Tuesday, 9 p.m.
Thanks for spending some time here at Story to Screen on KPEO World Community Radio. I'm your host, Erik Krefeld, and we're rocking the film world every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app or listen live, or catch the replay at wearestarfish.org, because each one matters. Catch you next week on Story to Screen. Keep supporting film and music. It's the story we tell that matters.
Whatever time's on you are, you guys do the math.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.